You wake up, still half asleep, you grab your phone and open your banking app. Balance $30 million. $30 million. So, what's the first thing you buy today? Not a Ferrari, not a Rolex, not even a fancy coffee. Instead, you walk into the bathroom and brush your teeth with discounted toothpaste because it was 40% off. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But that's exactly why you're worth $30 million. You head to the kitchen. Breakfast isn't avocado toast from a trendy cafe. It's eggs, oats, grilled chicken, Greek yogurt, and fruit. A meal packed with protein that costs less than most people spend on a single latte. Why? Because yesterday, you bought every ingredient from the cheapest grocery store in your neighborhood. Not the nicest store, the cheapest one. You don't pay for fancy shelves, you pay for food. While breakfast cooks, you make yourself a cup of black American coffee. No Starbucks, no drive-thru, no $8 coffee with whipped cream, just coffee, about 30 cents a cup. It tastes just fine because caffeine doesn't know what logo is on the cup. After breakfast, it's time to work out. You walk into your home gym, it looks impressive. But here's the secret. Almost every machine came from someone else's garage, used. Half the original price. The weights don't know they're secondhand, neither do your muscles. An hour later, you shower, grab your keys, and head outside. Parked in the driveway, a used Honda, paid for in cash, no monthly payment, no interest, no debt. Meanwhile, your neighbor, who earns a fraction of what you have, is making payments on a luxury SUV just to impress people he'll never meet. Who's actually richer? On the way home, you stop at the grocery store. Most people start with the colorful displays. You start with the discount shelf. Today's cereal is marked down. So are the vegetables. Chicken is on sale. Perfect. You compare prices, you read the labels, you only buy what you need. Nothing goes into the cart because it looks good. Everything has a purpose. At the checkout, your basket is surprisingly small. The cashier would never guess you're worth $30 million. You pull out cash, not because you don't have credit cards, because paying with cash makes every purchase feel real. You get back home. Most people would turn on Netflix. You open your investment dashboard. Stocks, index funds, real estate, private businesses, millions of dollars quietly working while you do absolutely nothing. You don't stare at the numbers because you're obsessed with money. You check them because what gets measured gets managed. Everything on your desk has one purpose. No expensive decorations, no unnecessary gadgets, just a clean setup designed to help you make better decisions. Because every distraction costs more than people realize. Around lunchtime, you leave the office, not for a five-star restaurant. You drive to your parents' house. Your mom already has lunch on the table. You sit with your family, laugh, tell stories, and enjoy a simple homemade meal. Money bought you freedom. But moments like these are the real reason you wanted that freedom in the first place. After lunch, you head to the mall, not the luxury boutiques, not the stores with security guards at the entrance. Just a normal clothing store known for quality. You pick up a few plain shirts, comfortable jeans, a simple jacket, nothing with giant designer logos. Because you're dressing for yourself, not for strangers. You buy what you genuinely like, not what social media says successful people should wear. Back home, the real work begins. You spend hours researching your next investment, reading annual reports, studying markets, analyzing businesses. You don't gamble, you calculate. Every decision is backed by patience, logic, and hundreds of hours of research, because one smart investment can outperform years of hard work. As the sun begins to set, you drive to your company. Employees walk past you without realizing you're the founder. From your office window, you look down at the busy streets below. Thousands of people are rushing home. Almost none of them know that the biggest investment company in town belongs to you, and you prefer it that way. Recognition has never been your goal. Building value has. Later that evening, you attend a business conference. Around you, expensive watches sparkle under the lights. Luxury suits fill the room. People are trying hard to look successful. You arrive wearing a simple jacket, clean sneakers, and ordinary trousers. No one notices you. Perfect. Because you didn't come to impress anyone. You came to learn. You listen more than you speak. You ask thoughtful questions. You meet experienced entrepreneurs who have built companies worth hundreds of millions. Every conversation teaches you something new. Every connection opens another door. On the drive home, one idea keeps replaying in your mind. a collaboration, a business partner in another country. If the deal works, your company won't just grow, it will expand internationally, creating new jobs, serving more customers, and quietly increasing your wealth once again. The next morning, you don't call for a limousine, you book a taxi to the airport because transportation is supposed to get you somewhere, not make strangers think you're important. Inside the airport, you stop at the duty-free store. You need a new fragrance. You pick one that smells amazing, not the most expensive bottle, not the one with the biggest celebrity campaign, just the one you genuinely like. Because quality matters, status doesn't, you continue toward your gate. The flight attendant checks your passport, then your boarding pass. Economy class. Yes, you could easily afford first class, but the flight is only a couple of hours. Why spend thousands more for a slightly wider seat? You pay for value, not for appearances. As the plane takes off, you don't watch movies. You open your phone. The contract, every paragraph, every number, every detail. You read it again and again because million-dollar decisions deserve your full attention. Hours later, you arrive. A driver takes you to one of the tallest office towers in the city. Inside, you're welcomed into a boardroom overlooking the skyline. Across the table sits the businessman you've been preparing to meet for months. After hours of discussion, you shake hands. The contract is signed. The deal is done. In that moment, your company changes forever. But you're not finished yet. Instead of trying to save money, you spend it where it matters most. You hire one of the country's top financial law firms. The best lawyers aren't cheap, but mistakes are far more expensive. You don't buy premium brands to impress people. You invest in professionals because they save you time and protect your business and help you avoid million-dollar problems. A few days later, you're back home. You open your investment dashboard. Your company's value has surged after the international partnership. Your investments respond. Your net worth climbs from $30 million to over $70 million. You stare at the screen for a few seconds. Most people would think you've reached the finish line, but all you can think is I'm still only getting started. You close the app. For the first time in weeks, you decide to reward yourself, not with a supercar, not with a private jet, not with a Rolex. Instead, you walk into a Casio store. You buy the watch you've wanted for a long time. Simple, reliable, comfortable, exactly what you needed. Because confidence doesn't come from the logo on your wrist. It comes from knowing you never had to pretend to be successful. As you leave the store, the cashier smiles. To everyone else, you're just another customer. No one knows you built one of the largest investment companies in the region. People think your success happened because you were lucky. They never saw the thousands of hours behind it. Every investment, every company you acquired, every contract you signed started the same way. Research, reading, studying, thinking. While others chased social media trends, you chased financial knowledge. While markets panicked, you stayed calm when everyone else was buying because of hype. You waited when everyone else was selling because of fear. You analyzed. Every decision was made in silence, never in emotion, never in a rush. That's what built your wealth, not luck, discipline. A few weeks later, your phone rings. It's your parents. Their voices sound different. Your dad explains the rent has increased. Bills are piling up. Debt is becoming impossible to manage. For a moment, none of the numbers in your investment account matter anymore because this is why you worked so hard. Money finally has a purpose: to protect the people who protected you. The next morning, you schedule a meeting with one of the best architectural firms in the city. Not the cheapest, the best. You sit with the architects for hours, looking through floor plans, choosing materials, discussing every room, every detail. The estimated cost, $3 million. You don't hesitate. Because your parents deserve more than a roof. They deserve peace. Construction begins. You visit the site almost every day. Some people wonder why. Shouldn't the engineers handle everything? Maybe, but nobody cares about your dream as much as you do. You walk through the unfinished rooms, adjust the plans, talk with the builders, solve problems before they become expensive mistakes. Then, for just a second, you stop walking. You remember being a little kid. You remember your parents pretending they weren't hungry or just so you could eat first. You remember eating leftovers that were already days old because buying fresh food wasn't possible. You remember your parents smiling even when life was breaking them inside. Those memories become your motivation. 2 months later, the house is finished. You stand in front of it. For the first time in your life, you truly understand what money is. Money isn't expensive cars. Money isn't luxury watches. Money isn't designer clothes. Money is freedom. Money is security. Money is giving the people you love a life they never thought they could have. You bring your parents to the house without telling them why. Your mom thinks you're just taking them for a drive. Your dad has no idea what's waiting. You hand them the keys. For a few seconds, nobody speaks. Your mother starts crying. Your father can't believe it. You walk them through every room, the kitchen, the garden, the living room, the balcony overlooking the sunset. You don't feel proud because the house is expensive. You feel proud because you spent your money on the right people, not strangers, not followers, family. That evening, the three of you have dinner together, not because you wanted to show the world you were rich, but because for the first time, everyone at the table could order anything they wanted without looking at the price. That is what wealth feels like. Later that night, you return to your office. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook a city filled with lights. Your laptop sits open on your desk. Your businesses have continued to grow. Years of disciplined investing, patient decisions, and constant learning have pushed your net worth beyond $200 million. You look at the screen, then out at the skyline. You smile not because of the number, but because you finally understand the lesson your younger self spent years chasing. Finance isn't luck. It's thousands of quiet decisions that nobody sees. It's choosing knowledge over trends, patience over panic, discipline over ego, and when the rewards finally arrive, don't use them to impress people who don't care. Use them to change the lives of the people who were there before you had anything. Because at the end of the day, the richest person isn't the one with the biggest bank account. It's the one who can give the people they love freedom, security, and a better life.